Hi everyone, I'm back again to make some soap, and this time I'm going to use an Aroma fragrance, Egyptian Oud, and it smells a little bit like incense with some musk and jasmine in it. It does have 0.24% vanillin, which may discolour the soap ever so slightly, but I have got titanium dioxide that I'll be using for the batch. Yeah, definitely an incense kind of smell to it. I'm going to do things slightly different today. I've got my hard and soft oils melted down. My goat's milk, I didn't have any frozen goat's milk, so I've just got that in a container here. It hasn't been in the fridge, I've only just opened it, so that should be okay, and it shouldn't discolour too much. So I'll just give that a scrape out. So I will give these a mix, and then I have got the remainder of my water and caustic soda that I will put in. As I mentioned, I have got my titanium dioxide mixed up with a little bit of water, and the rest of the soap I've decided to put some chunks of leftover embeds and things like that I had. And I've got some that have got a bit of brown and white as well. See if I can use those up. And I did have some flowers left. They're kind of an odd assortment, but they should still look fine on top. And I'll do a little sprinkling of some ultra fine silver glitter just to tie it all together. So I will just blend up the goat's milk and oils first. The Egyptian fragrance is meant to accelerate just a little bit, but because I only really need to put the embeds in, and I haven't got anything else, different colours apart from the white, we should be okay. So I might actually put my white in now and just give that a quick little blast. And I'm just going to pour my lye solution down the stick blender. And give this a little blast. Now this has taken a lot longer to reach trace. I'm not sure why. My oils and lye solution were around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and the only thing that I've done differently is put the goat's milk in separately. But I do want to make sure there's a trace there before I start putting the fragrance in. So that fragrance looks quite dark, so it may discolour to a cream colour, which won't be too bad as long as it's not too brown looking. So I'll give this another light, put it on low, just to get that oil in. Quite amazed how fluid this has stayed with all of that stick blending. It definitely came to trace, and all of that fragrance, I can see that it's in there now. I do hope that it doesn't turn out to discolour too much, but 0.24% is not very much vanillin, they call it, instead of vanilla. So I'll just bring my mould over a little bit closer, make sure there's no spots in there. and I will pour some on the bottom. And I will start throwing in some embeds just quite randomly. Just a really good way to use up soap that you may have cut off the end, or embeds that were a little bit imperfect, so it doesn't go to waste, and it should look quite pretty once it's cut. You could also place these into the batter and just pour the whole lot, but I wasn't really sure if it was going to sink to the bottom or not. Now, I will give this a really good bang down, but I might have to take it over to another bench while I do that. Okay, so we'll just get out some random roses for the top. Sort of all different shapes and sizes, a little bit of different colours. So there we go. I might just take off my gloves and sprinkle with a little bit of ultrafine glitter. And there we go. I'll bring you in for a closer look shortly, and I'll be back to cut in about 24 hours. I think I might leave this just a little bit longer because of the embeds. Hi everyone, I'm back to cut Egyptian Oud. It's been 48 hours. I can see on the side that there may be some air pockets, but it should still be perfectly fine. And it smells still quite strong of that incense smell, but it's not a bad fragrance really. Hasn't discolored very much at all, which is really good. So I'm just going to trim off a little piece off the end with my new cutter. There we go. And I've changed my blade to a 1-inch cut, which is normal size for most of my soaps. The last one that I did, the Sea Salt and Ocean Breeze, it was smaller than 1 inch, so I managed to get 11 bars of soap but I do prefer a 1-inch bar of soap. So we'll just cut this through. Hopefully it won't be too hard to cut. Oops, with the embeds, maybe it is. I might put that onto the side. We'll see if we can cut it this way. Oh, it is a lot harder to cut. So that's not cutting through the embeds as much as I would like. Not sure if I can tighten it up too much. So that did take a lot more to push through. So it has left a couple of little marks, but it's still quite a nice design, and it's got almost little star patterns in it from some of the embeds. I may have to just be really careful cutting this through. There we go. I really like how it's made almost little flower patterns in the cut. So that is definitely a downside to putting soap embeds in, that it's going to take a little bit more to cut through. I'm not used to what tension the wire should be on. It does sound fairly tight, but I don't want to break the string because I'm not sure how to replace them. So I'm just going to be very careful. It will take me a while to get through this, so I will probably fast forward through this section. So this has turned out really amazing. I love the variation between the star shapes and the squares and the different colours of pinks and slightly darker reddy brown colours. I would definitely love to try this again, of putting chunks of embeds in, but you obviously need to be really careful that your embeds have had longer to dry, so they're a little bit harder to cut through. And because this is a very new soap cutter, I certainly don't want to break it or break the string. So you just obviously have to take your time putting it through and give it a little helping hand. But I'm really happy how this has turned out. With the extra soap that I had left over from my batch, I just made a little heart shape and put some roses into it, so it didn't go to waste. and there's still quite a decent amount of ends on this, so I might cut this up and just use it for some more embeds, or just use it for a spare piece. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and watching something that I haven't done before, like putting the embeds into the soap, and trying out my soap cutter, which I purchased from Pure Delights soap cutters from Facebook, and they're a really great company and I love this soap cutter, but you do need to be careful cutting soaps that have embeds that may be a little bit harder. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back for my next lot of soap making. Thanks for watching. Bye.